Hi, it's me, JustNurseJen, in my bedroom that I said I would be doing most of my vlogs in, and that hasn't happened. As luck would have it, I had multiple medical things that came up and I needed to tend to those, as well as working full-time at that during those road vlogs. Of course, I am very safe with that. I make sure that I'm focusing on the road at all times. Again, it's hands-free device. It's as if I were talking to a family member through the speaker of my phone because I really don't look into the camera. But I had an idea that it would be kind of interesting from a nurse perspective and a patient perspective of doing some kind of fun makeup and medical education. I'm going to try and see if I can learn to do voiceovers, so when I'm doing the makeup, it's really hard to talk and do makeup at the same time. And of course I can't do radical styles like this while I'm at work. That's not professional as a nurse, but it is fun because this is my personality. I'm a little on the quirk side. So today's makeup bit that I did want to talk about is my absolute favorite mascara. I ran out of it and was freaking out. I bought some, lost it, bought some more, and found all of them. So I'm going to talk about that first before I get into the medical stuff. So my previous makeup favorites were the voluminous,
oh, that's embarrassing, the Lash Paradise. And what got me, it's always these sparkly sparkles, if you can see it, if I'm not wrecking the camera view. I love this one.
The hard thing is when I'm working, I sweat, and I do like to wear some makeup when I'm at work. I've toned it down quite a bit. But when you're sweating, it's not fun to have your mascara, like your eyelash lines showing. And so then the next thing I had got was the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. And this one was waterproof. Loved it. Until I found Maybelline. I don't know how I saw it. I don't know what person brought it into my world. And hopefully this view is a good view. It's called Total Temptation. There are two types. There's the waterproof and then there's the non-waterproof. So you can tell that it's waterproof because this one's like a teal blue color, I'm guessing, to simulate like water, just a guess. And then there's the non-waterproof type. And it can come in different packaging. Walmart sometimes has 2 in the package versus 1. Today I want to do a like show and tell. I didn't do any eyeliner because I thought I'm showing you guys how incredible this is, where I don't usually use eyeliner when I'm wearing it. So normally I do wear waterproof all the time, and I just use like micellar water, whatever it's called. You know what I mean. That special water that takes everything off. But today I'm just going to use the Total Temptation, the non-waterproof type. So hopefully this camera view is right. So this is what it looks like, just a normal type wand. So this is the before. And I always go like really close to the base of my eyelashes. I'm guessing that this is going to be just as good as the waterproof type. There are so many times I do this without even looking, because this stuff is so perfect. I know if I wanted my eyelashes to pop more, I would wear eyeliner, but I wanted to just do a show and tell of how incredible this is. And I normally don't do my bottom lashes. I really am not a fan of my bottom lashes being done because they just never turn out right. They're so sparse. And I just keep going through it, and it doesn't make your eyelashes turn into spiders, like tarantula eyes. It is so, like, what the heck? These don't even look like natural lashes, but they are. For real. That's crazy.
I don't even curl my eyelashes because it's that great. And of course I've got some on my bottom lash line. That's okay though. That's easy to clean up. So that is just after the first bit.
And I have to be really careful with this because I have a special eye condition that's incredibly rare. So I have to be so careful with what makeup I use and pigments and product like that. I have to be incredibly careful because I have gone blind before and it can happen again, which is so scary. It is really scary. But anyway, back to eyelashes. I wish I could talk. Well, I guess I can talk and do it at the same time, but I want to talk about the medical thing on a side note. Undivided attention.
Oh girl, I love this. Hashtag Lurve. I still like the waterproof better. It doesn't quite like get all over the place. I have little bits kind of going everywhere, but it could be the way that I'm putting it on. I'm in a very awkward position.
If we're gonna do it, let's just go all the way, right? Go big or go home. Except for when you blink. Blink, blink, blink. So quiet. I normally have music going or TV or YouTube or something, or I'm driving. No, not really. I did that a couple times and I was mostly at a stoplight, but I don't look in a mirror. It's so hard when you're trying to get it perfect for like a video. Of course it's not going to go on beautifully the first try, but I just wanted to show you, like, these are my natural lashes, 100%. I have some magnetic eyeliner and magnetic lashes that I'm gonna try. I'm horrible with artificial or fake lashes. So this is what the eyelashes look like now. Like, for real. I think that's Lurve. All right, on to the medical side of this video. So just a heads up, y'all, the makeup part was not meant to diss any brands at all. I love those other products. It's just when you find something better, you want to go for it. So I went for something better.
So, all right, down to the nitty-gritties about what I wanted to talk about today. I have my tissues because I'm probably going to get emotional. I've tried recording this before and I got pretty emotional, but my head was chopped off, so it didn't work so well.
All right. I'm going to talk first off about what a spinal cord stimulator is. So I am going to have a surgery on November 20th for a replacement of the battery that's currently in my spine. And I'll insert a clip here. So my battery technically in my body should last, I mean, anywhere from 10 to 30 years. I use a really low setting, and so it should have lasted a lot longer than 9 years. 9 years ago on October 20th. So it's been 9 years. I had finally been approved to have this device placed. So a spinal cord stimulator is just like, literally, just like, similar, I guess I should say, a pacemaker. So it's about that big, and it's the battery. It's what keeps things going. And so that battery can be placed in the heart, and it keeps the heart beating for people who have atrial fibrillation. It is a new thing. They have a gastric stimulator now. Gastric means stomach in medical world. And they literally take that battery. It's usually placed somewhere over on the left side of the body, with the leads coming over and across and being implanted into certain spots into the stomach, so it will force the stomach to move. Because basically people with gastroparesis, it means the stomach's not moving, or it's really slowly moving, so people feel full, they'll vomit, they just are miserable. So it helps to stimulate the stomach to push food out of the stomach. Spinal cord stimulator is a little bit different. It is basically helping with your brain neural highway. I remember my pain clinic doctor saying, your spinal cord and your brain are like the highway. It's the business highway of your body. So every single thing that you do, blinking, crying, snot dripping, coughing, moving your arms, it's all being conducted by nerve impulses from your brain. Sometimes there's a block or a disruption. That's not necessarily a physical thing that can be fixed or that they can see on a test. So people who are paralyzed or have amputations, that's what I was kind of referring to. So in like my case, it's very unique and rare because it was being used for something called pelvic nerve dysfunction. But basically the spinal cord stimulator is again a battery with 2 leads that go up and are anchored onto your spine right next to your spinal cord at the level of where your pain is at. Because we have different pain levels. If you look at the pain somatic chart, it'll show the different levels of where pain is coming from in relation to the level of your spine. So if it's your thoracic, what level, what bone in your thoracic region, or your cervical region, which is your neck, or your lumbar region, which is your back. A lot of people with back pain may get these spinal cord stimulators. The FDA had not approved this for use for pelvic nerve dysfunction. It took a long time to get it approved. When it finally did get approved, when I say approved, I mean going through the trial of this device. So basically what they do with the trial is they take you're in a sterile procedural room. You're awake, but kind of like sedated. You're consciously sedated. They want you to be able to say, yes, it's working, or no, it's not. Because they'll put the leads into your spine. They'll raise them up to the level that is needed. They'll do some quick sutures, and then they put massive medical tape. They sterilize it again. Some people are on antibiotics. They put tape like this wide over where the leads are implanted into your spine, because of course, I mean, hello, any little bug or germ could get right in there, and it's got access to your spinal cord, which then gives you access to your brain, which is not good. So you're not allowed to shower, you're taking it easy, you're playing around with your remote to see if it's even working. And I'm going to be really embarrassed right now because I can't find my remote. There it is, my remote. So you're given the remote, you have to journal for 7 days. After 7 days, they take the leads out, and then life's back to what it was, which in my case was miserable and crippling, literally debilitating, on the floor crippling. So, took 2 more months to get the official implant approved. And oh my gosh, it was a hard 2 months, because to feel pain relief for the first time and to feel like a human, it was right when I met my husband, of course, too. Bless his heart, he's been through so much, but oh, I love my family. I really love my family. Waiting that 2 months was horrible, because you're back to what you were, crawling to the bathroom, in bed all the time, having to call in sick to work. Once they got it, this official, like, you're allowed to get the surgery. You have a surgery in the hospital. Because now you're dealing with more official stuff. They're going to anchor it down officially. They're inserting things into your skin. So it needs to be in a sterile environment where you can be safely monitored. So I went to the hospital. They ended up wanting to keep me overnight just to make sure I knew how to work the device and that I was doing okay afterwards. But they make an incision. They create a little pocket. They cauterize any bleeders, which means zapping it with a laser tool, burning it so it won't bleed. And then they tuck that battery into the little pocket and they suture it up. Then you have a different incision for where they put the leads in. But they tunnel the leads under the skin and stuff with like a straw-like device. Sounds really barbaric, but you're sedated. And they'll wake you up at one point during the surgery. After the leads are kind of temporarily placed, they release some of the sedation, or they lighten it up and wake you up enough to be able to respond to say whether or not the impulses, they'll play with the actual remote and see, or they have a computer to see if you're getting pain relief in the right location, because you know where your pain's at. Mine's like in the girdle area and my lower back. So they wake you up a little bit. Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't. With conscious sedation, you're completely honest. So there's like no lying whatsoever. They get the truth out of you. It's a truth serum. Then they suture up your other spine. They anchor it down with some anchor pictures. Please don't sue me if I'm using your photo. It's just as an example for others who might be going through this. They'll anchor it down, and then they'll suture up where your spine is at. And I will show you a clip of my own like healed incision. And then you've got to take it easy for 12 weeks. Because you want to make sure that those anchors, like actually your body accepts them and that they don't slip or fail. Because you don't want to have surgery again. So you take it easy, nothing over the size of a gallon of milk, 5 pounds. And the biggest thing is you cannot have an MRI. So MRIs, like right now with all of my spine stuff and my ankylosing spondylitis and my arthritis, I can't have an MRI to confirm whether or not my vertebrae are fine. So, and the discs. So that's a big thing. I mean, if it was an emergency and it happened, the risk is that it'll fry the battery and possibly heat up the leads that are in your spinal cord and burn your spinal cord, which could be catastrophic depending on where the leads are at. If they're up high in your neck, I mean, burning that there would paralyze you. So it is a big thing. I don't think they've changed it. I'll find out when I have my surgery in 21 days. But, so then after that, you're given all this junk, which is really expensive, by the way. I lost the base. This is called the base. I lost the base and the cord. They're considered two separate things. $85, $85. And then I come to find out 4 weeks later that I'm going to have the whole battery replaced and I'll get new stuff anyway. So that's a little devastating. But the good news is the new battery they're going to switch out. So I have to have the surgery because it's the battery. I'm jumping everywhere and I apologize for that. So the battery's lifespan, the one that's in your back, is anywhere from 10 to 15 years depending on the settings that you use. If you use the higher settings, it's going to wear the battery down faster. I use low settings, so it's kind of weird that it's not working. It just, when I put this over, and I'll show you, when I put the charger over my back, it won't charge at all. And I was just looking at it during another attempt to record, and on this remote it was saying that it was needing to be charged. I'm having issues. I tried to charge the battery, which sounded like great. But anyway, don't lose it. I recommend that you get labels and you put your name, your phone number, and write and put that it's a medical device. Put your address. I mean, I don't care, because I lost my remote the first week after I had the full implantation. I lost the remote. Yeah. Devastating. Because I was still learning the settings and trying to get the pain relief. It's FYI, it is not medication. This is electrical stimulation. So you're receiving little electrical impulses at certain nerve levels. It's very similar to a TENS unit, and I'll do an example right here. But I'm going to do an example of what it's like to adjust your stimulator. Once it searches, it has to search for a connection. Okay, so I'm changing the program. Now if you watch my stomach here. Alright, so when you're in the doctor's office, if you've got your stimulator going and you're like laying down, it's going to give the most connection because the leads are completely straight. And so it's going to do jumping motions like that. If I increase the rate, this is all stuff that my muscles are doing as a response to the stimulator that's in my spine. I can't control it. I can feel it all the way down to my feet. And you can hear it in my voice. I can feel it in my diaphragm. Shocking. But it's an electrical current that's blocking the neural pathways so that I don't feel pain in the pelvic region anymore. you can adjust the settings of your implanted device, but you just have to remember no MRIs and label the crap out of your stuff, because if it gets lost, these are expensive. So this was, like I said, $85, $85. This is at least $1,000, if not $2,000. I don't know how much the belt is. I would have thought it would have come with the battery, but it doesn't. So you have to pay for that. This little guy right here. So I'm going to go through it step by step. The cord goes to the wall. Then the end goes into the base. This is called the base. This is called the charger. So this thing stays on the charger ideally at all times. It will be green when it's all charged up, but they say to try and leave it on the charger at all times. This is the remote control. This is how you change the settings in your body to try and give you pain relief. That's not medication. It's electrical impulses. And that's it for the extra devices you have to worry about. So what happens with this is you'll turn it on. It beeps. Boston Scientific, please turn it off. Don't make it sound like a bomb. It scares the crap out of everybody when I'm wearing this thing. So you'll slide it into your belt, like so. You'll wrap it around, and you literally put it right over where your implanted battery is. And it'll beep and do weird things until it's like steadily on there. Then you just leave it on there and let it charge. It will go beep beep, beep beep, beep beep when the battery in your back is fully charged. So yeah, this was an interesting experience for me. So the battery, unfortunately, it hasn't been charging, and I just saw on my remote when I tried to film this previously, where my head was chopped off, the remote said that it wasn't charged, and I've been trying to charge it. So I got a call from one of the representatives from Boston Scientific. They are there for you 24/7, regardless if you have insurance or not. Once you have a device like this in your body, there is somebody on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help. If it's an emergency, a magnet, a lot of times hospitals have a special circle magnet that they'll put over a pacemaker to stop it if it's malfunctioning. This thing in your back can go out of control too, and it'll fire very wrong. It'll hurt. Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all. So you can put a magnet over it. They don't recommend doing that very often just because it can damage the battery. Unfortunately, I'm 9 years out. There's a chance that because it's not charging right, it has to do with the warranty is expired. It's considered an older implantation. I thought I was going to make it to 15 years, but nope, not the case. So yeah, they also thought that maybe during the surgery something happened. So my innocent fundiplication, I'm still so excited. 6 weeks out and I'm doing fantastic. Just remember, drink slowly, eat slowly. If you push it, it will hurt, and it's not fun to feel yucky. But otherwise, I'm doing great. So the concern was that even though I turned the stimulator off, so I used my remote to turn the device off for surgery, even though everybody on the surgical team knew I had this, there's a chance that with electrical devices they use for the laparoscopic techniques, for the cautery that they use, that possibly it could have malfunctioned and it could have damaged the battery. I didn't realize that was a risk. While you have devices like this, when you go under the knife, there's a risk that they'll malfunction. Great. Anyway, so what we're gonna do literally in a couple weeks is they're just gonna open up my back, open up the pocket that has that little battery in it. They'll slide it out, pop the 2 leads out, get a brand new battery set, sterile, of course. They plug the leads in. They'll wake me up, make sure that it's working, put me back kind of to drowsy land. They'll tuck it back into that same pocket that they had created, sew me back up, all done, girl. It should be very easy, and I'm praying, and if you don't mind sending some good positive thoughts for me on November 20th, I would really appreciate it, and November 8th for my other surgery. So yeah, the risk is that I'm a very easy bleeder. It's a rare, weird thing. They don't know why it happens. We're going down genetic possibility testing. I mean, all of this stuff in my body is like rare. So, yeah, fingers crossed it'll go well. But I want to just show you what my back looks like in clips, which hopefully I've already inserted, and what it looks like to change the settings for people who are, like, when I go to the medical clinics and I'm having them, they're checking my heart rate, and it looks like my aorta is going crazy. It's like, blah, 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 but it's not. It's the stimulators. I have to warn them about them in the doctor's office. But yeah, I think I'll talk more in a different video about why we had to get down to this level. When I tried to do it before, I think it just made the video too long. So, love is the only way. If the world just had more love in it, it would be incredible. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested, I'd appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. If you want to see more videos, hit the notification bell. I am going to try and do neutral makeup looks, funky makeup looks, and talk about medical things at the same time, because I love to educate. So I would really love the subscriptions, or questions, or comments, or suggestions. Just keep it nice. That's the only thing I ask for. Be nice with love. And have a great day. Bye. Now I'm going to show you some of my personal beauty marks, my scars. So I'm going to show you where the implant is, where the revision when we had to move it up. So on my back, right there is the spinal stimulator. There's an incision right there that they're going to open to take the battery out and replace that. And then up here on my spine is where they anchored the leads to my spine. And that's how big it is. It's pretty small, and you don't feel it. It'll wiggle around, but there's no pain with it.